Hey smugglings, what is happening? This is going to be the review for Jacob's Ladder, directed by Adrien, Lynne and starring Tim Robbins, Elizabeth Pene and Danny Aiello. And this is a psychological horror film that came out in 1990 and, as I said previously, directed by Adrien Lynne, who previously did Fatal Attraction, which was a massive worldwide success and a film I quite like. If I'm being completely honest, I do quite like that film. And he has done something quite different here, which is a psychological horror film. And this film centers on the titular character, Jacob Singer, who's an American infantryman during the Vietnam War. And we see that his experiences during the war shape his life afterwards, and he experiences a lot of hallucinations and horrific visions after his service in the war. And he believes something is awry with this, and he vows to find the truth to see what is actually happening to him and why he is experiencing these horrific visions and hallucinations. And this film is a major influence on Silent Hill, and Silent Hill, as I don't think any of you know, is one of my favorite things of all time. I absolutely love Silent Hill, and that is actually how I first was introduced to the film, which is that it is a major influence on it, and because of that I was so interested in actually seeing it. And I never will forget the first time I saw this film and how enraptured I was with what was going on in this particular film. It is so immersive and it really does capture your attention, and that is a large part due to Tim Robbins, who's one of my favourite actors and someone I would love to see more in films. He's had an amazing career, especially in the 90s, and he's made some amazing films, including Dead Man Walking. But I always really do love seeing him on film, and this is no different. This is an amazing performance by him. And Adrien Lynne is another star of the show, as he really captures that sense of anxiety and panic that he wants you to feel in the film, and he really does get that across to the audience. And Jacob will experience various hallucinations and horrific visions during his time in New York after the war, and you see that on his way home from the postal service in work, where he's on a train and some guy has a tail that is sticking out of his coat, and it's really horrific, but it's shown so quickly that you don't really have time to register what you actually saw. And that is an amazing thing about this film, which is that you don't actually know what you're seeing a lot of the time, because the shots are so quick, so erratic, and there will be times when you will see a shot in a dance scene in a house, and because there's a lot going on, you don't actually know what is actually being seen, but you know that it is not of this world. And it's a really effective horror film, and I think it is one of the best horror films I've seen. And I love the fact that this takes from the biblical narrative of the Jacob's Ladder, which is a stairway to heaven that the prophet Jacob saw in his dream, and the way that weaves with the experiences of these particular soldiers in the Vietnam War is really incredible and very well done here. And we're with Jacob Singer for the majority of the film, and we do realize that he has some demons. He obviously was in the war in Vietnam, and we assume he has done some things that he regrets, not necessarily things that he was told not to do, but things that he regrets due to the horrific nature of war. And obviously I've never been in a war, but I can assume that soldiers will do things that they very much regret later in life, and that is due to human nature. And I think that this film is interestingly concerned with government conspiracy as well, and that's an aspect of the film that I really grasped on this particular watch of the film. And you really do get the sense that it's trying to perceive what the government is actually doing to the soldiers in the war, and how they are trying to create the most effective weapon to fight soldiers on the opposing side. And I love that particular aspect of it. And it is a story where a drug was prescribed to soldiers to use during the war in order to make them more effective in combat. And it's gone horribly wrong in this film, where the soldiers start to turn on each other, and due to that particular fact, the soldiers start to believe that they will go to hell, and that is part of their torment in this film, is that they believe they will go to hell. And the doctor of Jacob Singer, the main character, played by Danny Aiello, is someone that gives him the words of wisdom, which is that it will be awful for you to resist being taken from this world, but if you accept your fate and your destiny, it will be much easier for you, and you will have a much more pleasant experience. And that is the journey of this particular character, Jacob Singer. He is trying to struggle out of this inevitable fate that he has in store for him. But once he accepts what is going to happen, he is able to move on from this world. And like I said before, this story is very sad, and it's a film that will stay with you once you witness the final scenes. And the main character, Jacob Singer, has had bad experiences in his life besides the war, which are the loss of his relationship with his wife and the loss of his son, as he was hit by a car years prior. And there are various things that cause his mental state to deteriorate, and it's really done well here. And I do have to say, one of my favorite scenes from this film is a scene that was replicated in Silent Hill Homecoming, and I really love the fact that this particular scene follows you on the gurney with Jacob Singer, and you're going through this dilapidated hospital, and you see the patients, and they are malformed, they are very much not of this world, and it looks as though they've been experimented on. And it's a great commentary on what the government has done with the soldiers of the war, and how they've played with them, and how they've manipulated them to do their bidding. And it's a really wonderful film. This is one of the best films I've ever seen in my life, and I've thought that from the first time I saw it over 10 years ago. And I think this is an incredible film. I really love Jacob's Ladder, and Tim Robbins is one of the best, one of my absolute favorite actors, and this really does need to be seen. It is one of the best films ever made, and I'm going to give Jacob's Ladder a 9.5 out of 10. Really incredible film, and one that I hold very dear. And that is my review of Jacob's Ladder. I hope you enjoy, guys. I'm going to try to get more reviews out there for movies that I really love, and I want to do more reviews for new movies as well, so I will attempt to do that, and I really enjoy doing it, and we will see what happens there. But I really appreciate you, smauglings, and thank you so much for watching this video. Always appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. So you guys take care, and I will see you soon.